Think of your brain as the world's most powerful computer. But what if it's running an old operating system that's been hardwired to block wealth? According to Brian Tracy, who literally programmed himself to go from poverty to millionaire status, most people are stuck with these limiting default settings from childhood. He developed a system of simple daily rituals that act like a software update for your subconscious. In this video, we're revealing his powerful techniques for deleting your limiting beliefs and installing the mental habits of the rich. Brian Tracy's early years were almost no different from most people's lives. His father was a woodworker and his mother taught at school. His parents' income was barely enough to feed the whole family. As Brian later confessed, the only thing he remembers about his childhood was the constant feeling of hunger. There was no money to go to a prestigious university, so Tracy decided to quit school and get a job. At first, he was a handyman, and then realizing that he could not make a fortune that way, he decided to take a job as a sailor on a ship. He spent 8 years of his life traveling the world and building character, and when he returned home, he became a completely different person. Brian Tracy changed his mindset in such a way as to achieve the part of him that had been blocked in his poor childhood by his parents. At the same moment, Tracy realized the main essence of life. After that, the future entrepreneur began to engage in sales and went phenomenally fast up the ladder of success. Now, Brian Tracy is an authority in the field of business and personal growth. He has helped millions of people increase their productivity, improve their personal relationships, and achieve financial independence. And thanks to the following tips, he can help you too. Activate the positive attitude genome. How much do you think our emotional state affects affluence? Brian Tracy believes it is crucial. A positive attitude can help us stay motivated, overcome obstacles, and save a sense of optimism even in difficult situations. To tune into the right wave, take a few essential steps. First, focus on the things you are grateful for. This will help shift your perspective in a positive direction. Be sure to write them down on paper, or better yet, hang it on the fridge so it's always in plain sight. Second, when faced with a problem, instead of dwelling on the negative aspects, focus on finding a solution. This will help optimize your time for problem solving. Third, spend time with people who uplift and inspire you. Avoid negative people who depress you. Try to make a table rating each friend from 1 to 10. After analyzing the list, decide with whom it may be worthwhile to limit communication. Tracy says that many people find a positive attitude as something elusive and not affecting real success. But the entrepreneur is convinced that this is where you need to start on your way to the top. Got an idea? Go for it! Over the years, Brian Tracy learned one important quality. If he found an idea, he immediately tried to put it to practice. I found that almost everyone, when they find an interesting idea, does absolutely nothing with it, but just thinks to themselves, "Excellent idea." Tracy believes this is completely wrong. In any situation, when you have an unusual idea in your head, don't get distracted, but immediately start implementing it. At the very least, make a notebook where you write them down and always carry it with you. Of course, most of the time the idea won't work right away, and it probably won't happen the second or third time. But something good will happen the 10th time for sure. Relax and let your ideas lead you to the right path of success and wealth. 10 Goals Secret Technique. Get a notebook and write down 10 goals that you want to achieve in the coming year. Very importantly, each of them should be described in the present tense. Begin with the word I and have a specific date. For example, I want to buy a car November 25th. Now, the notebook should become your best friend. Take it every morning, turn the page with your past records without reading them, and start writing your 10 goals again. Filling out your notebook should definitely become your daily habit. When you do this, you'll find that your goals have changed. The words you use, the order of them have changed, but you should keep not looking at your past notes. Every day is a new page. Tracy assures that doing this exercise every day for a month will change your life forever. Each time you write down a goal, you actually send it to your subconscious. Each day, the goal sinks into it more and more. Writing down your goals without looking back, it turns out that they gradually change. Goals that were written down at the beginning of the month may disappear altogether because it turns out they weren't as important. Eventually, you will be able to highlight those real, necessary, and most important goals, which you will gradually start to fulfill. By writing down your goals every morning, you are programming yourself. After that, various opportunities will open up in front of you all day long, bringing you closer to achieving your goals, says Brian Tracy. The Law of Cause and Effect. Brian Tracy was told about this rule by a professional salesman. It means if you want to achieve your goals, then you should find a person who has already conquered the necessary peak and try to do everything they did. Yes, it might sound strange, but only because poor thinking tells us, don't steal other people's ideas, don't copy. However, this is not true. Ideas can be repeated, which is why there is not one bank, but thousands. Not one restaurant, but hundreds of thousands. Plus, you have to agree it makes it a lot easier. In all of this, according to Tracy, there is the basic principle of wealth. If you want to triple your income, find someone whose profits are 3 times yours and ask them the question, how did you do it? Most successful people are eager to talk about their accomplishments. So all you have to do is ask, seek information, observe, check, record, and then act. The law of cause and effect is simple. All life effects, whether it's financial well-being, health, feeling of joy and happiness, have reasons, using which you are guaranteed to come to the desired result. Such an example could be your boss, your best friend's acquaintance, etc. The law of faith. This rule goes hand in hand with the previous principle. The law of faith means whatever you believe in and sincerely convinced of becomes your reality, because you always look at the world through the prism of your faith. We do not see the world as it really is. All people's beliefs are an acquired skill and are taught from an early age. If parents instill positive thinking in their children from a young age, as the years go by, they will feel like confident and happy people. For example, it so happened with the children of Brian Tracy, and the reason for this was just the fact that their faith, their basic program has always said, I will achieve what I want. It's only a matter of time. At the same time, according to Tracy, faith can also limit you. If you were constantly told that you will not succeed, that you cannot become as rich as somebody else, chances are those beliefs are already in your head. To get rid of them, start asking yourself the right questions like, why are some people more successful than others? Later on, it will turn out that you don't have to have a college degree or a lot of money to be successful. Almost everyone has the necessary skills, and most of them can and should be developed. The only problem with negative attitudes is that they are illusions that most people on the planet have come to believe. Writer and philologist John Tolkien was one of the first to notice how much certain phrases affect a person. In one of his post-war articles, Tolkien stated that the word is man's most powerful weapon. A writer can create the world around you with a few sentences. A dictator will lead an entire country to war for his interests through a fiery speech. We can please and at the same time wound each other with words. To emphasize this point, Brian Tracy adds that some words can make money. In one of his videos, Brian cites as proof an experiment conducted by a team of psychologists and linguists at the University of California. They studied the impact of certain words on the human subconscious. For example, talking about food causes abundant salivation and contributes to the feeling of hunger. This is due to the fact that a person involuntarily begins to imagine food and the process of eating it. Talking about creativity, in turn, stimulates the productivity of the right hemisphere of the brain and increases the feeling of inspiration. And mathematical theories, on the contrary, put the left hemisphere to work, thereby including the person's analytical thinking. Communicating with successful people also affects your subconscious mind. Talking about business, ideas, and money makes your brain think through the process of achieving them, states Tracy. According to Brian, such studies confirm the fact that certain words can affect a person financially. Accordingly, he revealed a few phrases that will help you become richer. The tightrope walker phenomenon. Talking about magic words often attracts the attention of esotericists. The phrases, I want to become successful or I will have a lot of money, according to Tracy, can have a positive effect on you, but only in working through your own dreams and their visualizations. In life, it's better to use phrases that will push you to take real action. Personal growth is directly related to the word balance. A successful person is first of all a tightrope walker, combining different approaches in his life to solve one problem. In your case, it's career growth or increased earnings, says Tracy. The path to a rich life, according to Brian, should be comprehensive. Development in different directions will come out of the most difficult situations a winner. Improving yourself from different sides, you become flexible and able to solve any problem. You might need to stay calm in one situation and make fast decisions in another one. Only by keeping a balance and discovering different angles of your personality can you improve your life several times over. Because. At first glance, most people today make a lot of money thanks to their ideas. But Tracy is convinced that such a thought is deceptive. Wealth is created by leaders, the people who know how to unite and convince. You personally may not have a global plan that will make you successful, but your team, with the combined efforts of your team, can create this plan. At the same time, even being on the career ladder, you can move forward, convincing everyone around you that you are worthy. If you want to become rich, be specific in your statements, and many people will allow you to move forward when you just ask them. Convince them with a reason by giving them the magic word "because," and even more people will answer you in the affirmative. After all, they want to see meaning in what they do. This, according to Tracy, means that people who can persuade are the ones who get ahead and become rich. Happiness. Positive thinking is beneficial to your productivity. Plus, it increases your chances of gaining useful connections with other people, states Tracy. Wealth gravitates toward happy and cheerful people and avoids those who spend most of their lives in sadness. If you want financial well-being, love your life and learn to enjoy even the little things. Do not forget to give joy and positive emotions to other people. Then, the world is sure to thank you with an abundance of financial chances. Try to focus on the positives throughout the day and then tell your friends and family about them. The phrase, "It made me happy today," should be an integral part of your vocabulary, says Tracy. Give this video a thumbs up if you're excited about every new day. Let's see how many of us positive individuals are ready to change our lives here and now. Confidence. Belief in your own strength is your personal motivation to solve any problems. If you have a firm foot on the path to wealth, you certainly won't slip along the way, stresses Tracy. Confidence is one of the fundamental feelings of successful people. When you believe in yourself, you'll notice how much life will favor you. Frequent repetition of the word will help you feel confident in your abilities to convince yourself of your own faith, even if at first you have doubts. Have you ever seen a successful person lack confidence? I haven't. Their eyes light up, their words, facial expressions, actions, and gestures say only that they know what they are doing and they prove it to others. Confidence gives an incredible boost even when it seems like everything is about to go downhill. Be fully confident in yourself and you will do incredible things. Believing is the best. Hoping and waiting is the strategy of many people who want to get rich. Of course, it is not right, but you should not completely abandon hope in the pursuit of big money. Paired with confidence in yourself and your decisions, you should always have hope for success. All people face setbacks, but what matters is how they deal with it. If you learn to hope for the best, no matter what situation you're in, you'll find it easier to accept defeat. And at the same time, you will not devote a lot of time to your victory, says Tracy. I will change the world. The word is a really good tool you can use to negotiate a raise or convince people to invest in your idea. To all that, it's essential to understand that you can really get your brain to find different opportunities to create more money with words. Convince yourself that there is nothing stopping you from changing the world today, at least in your field of vision. Then you will move forward and reach your goals. Share in the comments your one great goal you'd like to achieve in the coming year. Let's share our thoughts and motivate each other to get to the top. This is the main channel on finance. Subscribe, think, and get rich.